into positive G now. Nathan is wearing a full body G suit and employing a technique known as pressure breathing, helping him counter the effects of the G forces. Now a derry turn, rolling one way, turning the other. At about 2,200 feet into a flat spin. Multiple snap rolls, finishing off inverted and now entering an inverted flat turn, which he'll continue for about 245 to 270 degrees. He's applying right rudder here with thrust to the left, and then when he comes out of the flat turn, he'll be performing what he calls a series of shoulder rolls. There he goes into those. Coming in on the 45-degree line towards the show centre point. The smoke goes back on and he pulls up. With some negative G rolls on the top. Another series of climbing rolls.
In her 8th year and Emma is in her 5th season.
And this is where the G...
That's it, that's where they pull the 4G, and now they'll be pulling up and go over the top.
And this is where they can see everybody.
Oh yeah.
So come on, give them away so that they can...
Everyone give them away.
This is being appreciated.
Emma at this point can't see Kirsten at all, so she is judging when you go away from the display line when to spin back out of a handstand.
Now you've got to have a lot of confidence.
Pardon?
You have to have a lot of confidence to do this in both the aeroplane, the pilots, and also that kit that you're using. Just to ascertain the precise location of the enemy. Spitfire now setting up for a strafing attack. But those troops look to be pretty well dug in.
manoeuvre the aircraft to counteract the swing as the load hits the airflow. The aircraft now returns to drop off the underslung load and complete what is called an operational drop-off. This is a combined rapid drop of a load and strop and egress away from the threat. It's used in a dusty or high threat environment to get important supplies rapidly onto the battlefield. Again there's the crew departing with an over-the-shoulder, presenting that ballistic floor to the enemy as they depart. Also remember to give Josh in the door there a wave. He's not got the orange gloves, but he definitely wants to get in on that action.
For a wing over. These two pilots have got around 50 combined years of experience in air shows and aerobatic competition. They've flown the world over, both as solo acts and as part of formation teams. But in 2021, they decided to set up as their own aerobatic duo, the Starlings. At that time, they had just one of these new extra NGs. The other aircraft was a CAT 232, but they've since transitioned to this all extra NG lineup.
It is literally what happens if he takes L on like the Tuesday break?
But I've been told you can spend the whole weekend there, so
it could take up to 5 years.
it's on our list. Just go dig it out.
But like you really do like insane. So when was the one that you're trying to say like
mission commander is satisfied that the enemy air defence is destroyed, the gunships can climb to identify all enemy threats from above. This is done through the use of advanced thermal targeting cameras, and in the cockpit the crews will conduct a set of pre-engagement checks.
Well recorded, arms clear, clearing the sub-defense, active support, second imagery, starting hand, box selected, go call, roger, going call, 400 process, weapons fast and action, D3 at range, match and shoot.
Once satisfied any positions are clear of enemy forces, the Apache pair climb into Overwatch. Out of the gunfire threat, but able to destroy any targets that may present themselves.
Good effects on targets, 4 enemy vehicles destroyed, radar threat, eliminated. Pilot helmet sight, dismount station retrieved, by gun, auto range, firing.
The Wildcat conducts rapid repositioning to your right. It's ready to drop off friendly troops. Threat destroyed, the attack helicopters can continue to provide security of the objective area, while the Wildcats insert a team of Rangers. These come from the Army Special Operations Brigade. The Wildcat provides close support to the team with its 12.7mm heavy machine gun. Apache cruises at 140 miles per hour, and when responding to an urgent scenario, such as troops in contact, we can fly over 180 miles per hour, covering 3 miles per minute over the ground. The Apache has a combat range of over 300 nautical miles, which can be enhanced with external fuel tanks. This gives us over 4.5 hours flying time. Despite being large and heavy, the Apache is highly maneuverable, as you can see with this 270-degree wing over. Its combat weight can be over 10 tons, able to carry a combination of 16 Hellfire or Jager missiles, 76 Hydra rockets, and 1,200 high-explosive cannon rounds.
That is a really nice formation of the similar type. The Chipmunk's the one leading. They're not colours original to this airframe, but they represent an important part of Chipmunk history. And it's now owned by the Chippy Sierra Yankee group, who keep it at Audley Air. 2008 by Mark Miller and the late Bill Taylor of the Havilland Support, based here at Duxford, which also provides technical support for the Beagle Pup and Bulldog family. This aircraft served with Cambridge University Air Squadron. At that stage it was life expired. Initially it was stored locally, and it was only the third civilian Bulldog to be given a SPA life extension modification in 2007. And it appears in the colours of the fittingly based number 6 Flying Training School. Very recently, in fact prior to the 2024 season, this aeroplane was given a major, very extensive repair and deep maintenance. And it's still part owned by Jeff Bell along with Nick Snow, and together they form Viper Classic Aircraft, which operates this aeroplane. It's based at East Midlands Airport.
aircraft, Cuban, Bob will enter the 4-point roll. Get your cameras ready for some great shots. The Tutor has a top speed of 212 miles an hour or 185 knots and can achieve maximum positive 6G. Next we have another wing over.
Okay. Right, well remembered.
Bob now rolls 90 degrees while pointing straight up before completing a stall turn at almost 0 airspeed. The two 90-degree turns allow Bob to continue in the same direction. The Tutor, or GROB 115E, is operated by No. 6 Flying Training School in partnership with Babcock International, primarily flying University Air Squadron students and RAF Air Cadets.
Carries the classic Tiger Club colours, that red and yellow sunburst scheme that's so familiar to many of us who hung around air shows for a good many years. This is a really interesting aeroplane. A man called Jean Stampe, who was a former pilot in the Belgian military, began building his own aeroplanes when he set up a flying school with a former colleague, Maurice Vertongen. And they began a collaboration with a Brussels-based engineer by the name of Jean Renard. Stampe became the Belgian agent for de Havilland aircraft, which was selling the DH-60 Moth at the time. Renard had left to co-found his own firm, and the Stampe SV family, for Stampe et Vertongen, was the result, and one of them was this biplane trainer and tourer called the SV4. It took several years to perfect for its first flight in 1933, but it ended up in production and coming into service in 1939. And the first deliveries of these aircraft to the Belgian Air Force were just underway when World War II broke out.